So as parents of graduating seniors, many of you are likely cataloging a list of all of the lasts this time of year brings. And here's where we pull out the tissues, but you've got the last proms, the last competition, maybe the last performance. A senior photo shoot is also on the list, but the difference is this to-do will be a last that will last forever. Kayla Trujillo is a local photographer sharing everything we need to know to be prepared to get those perfect photos, to perfectly document this moment in time. It's so good to see you, sister.
Good to see you.
I love your approach to this. You're going to give us some great photography tips to get the best photos possible, but also you point out to parents, make the experience a memory.
Yeah, it's a special time for them and for you as a parent, and so I want it to be a special experience for everyone.
It's wild to think how far senior photos have come.
They're awesome.
Right?
From when I was in high school.
I was in a dark auditorium with a cap and gown, a really shady, shadowy, dramatic, moody shot.
Totally.
We know kids of today love photos and they're really good at photos.
And they're so photogenic. Like they make this so easy.
They know what to do. They know what they want. Let's start with clothing. You actually recommend 3 different outfits, right?
So I recommend doing a casual outfit. So something like jeans and like a cute shirt or blouse. And this is fun for more casual type posing. So you can do like crisscross applesauce. You can do jumping. So having something casual is fun.
I have to think that's how a lot of parents will want to remember their teen.
Just like they would be on a day-to-day, right?
A normal day, and I don't know, I guess it depends on the kid, but I have to think these are the photos that they tend to gravitate to as well.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more fun, a little bit more laid back.
The casual, okay, that's outfit number 1. What's outfit number 2?
Number 2, something more dressy. And so this is kind of nice to compare and contrast, like if you're gonna do an announcement with lots of pictures, it's fun to have a couple different options. I also think, we'll talk about this in a second, but if you end up bringing a cap and gown, having a more dressy outfit, like a shirt and tie or a dress, looks better under a gown than like jeans would. And so it's just a little bit more.
The third outfit you say is a themed outfit.
Yeah, so this is something to remember the high school experience by. So if they were like in sports, wear like a uniform. Or like a Letterman's jacket. Or if you don't have anything, you can default to the cap and gown. Even like I had a class officer jacket. Just something that shows what they did while they were in high school.
Listen, I'm glad to hear the Letterman shot is still a thing. Because does it get more classic?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of old, so maybe it's not still a thing, but I see them. So
no, but I think if you present it that way to your child, like a themed outfit.
Something just to remember that experience.
For sure. While we're on outfits, before we move on, especially for the boys, you want to draw attention to the shoes.
Yeah, boys are so into shoes now. Like all of the boys in my neighborhood just always have awesome shoes at church. And so I think just letting them have their little personality in the shoes is awesome. And your photographer can focus on that and make it kind of a fun part of the pictures. All
right, we've got our fit. Now let's talk about the perfect shot. There are a few locations you're recommending. And I love, you're going to get into a description, which I appreciate, because I think even if you don't have access to this particular location, you can look for one that's similar.
Type, yep.
The Exchange Place made your list.
So Exchange Place is kind of a downtown kind of vibe. You're going to get a lot of brick walls, a lot of staircases, even going up on a parking garage. So this is awesome because it's like that awkward time in Utah right now where it feels like everything should be green and lush, but it's not quite. We're still a few weeks out. And so going with more of a city vibe makes it not feel like you're in the dead of winter. And so it's really kind of a fun look for senior pictures.
You point to the Capitol. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
The blossoms are so beautiful.
The blossoms are so beautiful. You have to go right now in the next week or two. But the Capitol is also awesome. The blossoms are awesome for more feminine pictures, but if you do have a boy, the architecture of the Capitol is really cool too. There's stairs, there's this really cool iron gate. It's just got some different looks that, again, make it so it's not the dead of winter that we're shooting in still. It gives it that really cool vibe.
So is that the key architecture? I mean, aside from the beautiful blossoms and other...
so I would say the blossoms are awesome and more feminine, and then architecture is kind of cool for more of a masculine look.
Yeah, good words, good buzzwords, even if you're scouting outside of the Salt Lake area. To look for that architecture, the brick with the texture.
Yes.
Finally, this is my favorite. If I were to vote, I would vote for your school.
Yes, okay, so, and that's again, sentimental. I love to do pictures in front of the signs at the school, right? Or if you played football, do it on the football field.
Sure.
It's so sentimental, and this is the time in your life where you really gravitate towards those feelings, and so you should embrace it and shoot at the school.
Absolutely. Is there still a place for a studio shoot?
Yeah, so I think studios are awesome. Again, I focus so much on the weather because right now it's just so up and down. So a studio, you're gonna get consistent weather. If it's raining, you don't have to reschedule. I think studios are awesome because you get my studio has brick wall, it has a white wall, it has different colored backdrops. And so you can get a lot of different looks and you don't have to worry about the weather being at play.
Okay, for posing, is this like an up-close headshot sort of a frame, or what do you recommend?
Okay, so I recommend having a few shots that you need to get. And one, I would say you want like a good smiling headshot. You want this for an announcement, like it looks good, But also you're moving from high school to like now you're in college and maybe you have a job and so you need more of a professional headshot. So use that senior picture as a chance to like build a LinkedIn profile picture. So yeah, I would say get a headshot.
Okay, and candids.
Candid.
Can't forget the candids.
Yeah, so I'm always going to be a fan of the candids. And so when I'm saying candid, I'm like thinking walking while smiling, laughing, moving around, like maybe movement with your arms. This just gives you motion and makes it more of a fun session because this is a fun event. And so you want to make it like exciting.
And nod to mom and dad. Don't forget one with the parentals.
Yes. So I always, like if someone's shooting a session with me, I'm always going to make mom and dad do this. I want a picture with mom and dad and the senior. So they might not be dressed for it. It doesn't matter. Like you're here and I want just that memory.
Yes. Plus, you know who's paying for the shoot.
True. And mom gets really sentimental usually.
Oh,
like,
my
she'll
gosh.
Tear up and like
Listen.
do a snuggle. Like it's a big deal for parents.
My oldest is 8. I can't talk about
Oh,
a graduation or a mission call. I bubble
Same.
over. I
Yep.
am just a mess.
Yep.
So I can't even imagine the
Yep.
humiliating mess I'll be in 10 years. Really quickly, props. Any props we bring?
So yeah, so if you're gonna do props, I'm thinking more like if you're in a uniform, bring like a football or a tennis racket, like just again something that shows what you did in high school. And then another prop I'm gonna say is like a cap and gown. So sometimes you don't get that until closer to graduation, but even if you just find one like on Facebook, just bring a cap and gown. I think it's really cute just to end the session with that.
People sell those on Facebook?
They do.
Okay.
Because what do you do with
well,
it
yeah.
after you graduate?
Great. I rented mine. Do they do
Oh,
that?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't
think
know.
high schools do, but like some people just buy them and then they have them. So
Hey, Kayla, thank you so much.
Of
You're so
course, thank
talented
you
and
for-
so good at what
thank
we do.
you.
What you do. Where can we get more information about your services?
just on Instagram at kayla.trulyphotography.
Okay, we'll link you over to her website. You can peruse more of her beautiful photos from ours, studio5.ksl.com.